Yesterday, Donald Trump was speaking in Baltimore. He ain't gonna see black people. He was talking to the National Guard, and he had some tough things to say about Hillary Clinton basket of deplorables comment. Okay, here's what Hillary said. I'm gonna tell you what Donald Trump said.
You could put half of Trump supporters into what I call the basket of deplorables. Right? The racist, sexist, homophobic, xenophobic, Islamophobic, you name it.
All right. Here's Donald Trump yesterday blasting Clinton.
I was thus deeply shocked and alarmed this Friday to hear my opponent attack, slander, smear, demean these wonderful, amazing people who are supporting our campaign by the millions. Our support comes from every part of America and every walk of life. Hillary Clinton spoke with hatred and derision for the people who make this country run. She spoke with contempt for the people who thanklessly follow the rules, pay their taxes, and scratch out a living for their family, a hard-earned living, too. The disdain that Hillary Clinton expressed toward millions of decent Americans disqualifies her from public service. You cannot run for president if you have such contempt in your heart for the American voter, and she does.
Well, clearly the Trump campaign plans to use this as a major attack against Hillary Clinton. She later apologized for that comment. She said, of course, that she only regretted making, quote, a grossly generalistic statement and using the word deplorables. Well, okay, gotcha. All right. Sorry, using the word have. Okay, let me break this down to our panel. Chris, I want to start with you. NBC News Survey Monkey poll from February. 2/3 of Trump supporters an unfavorable view of American Muslims. It's a fact. 87% wanted to ban Muslims from entering the U.S. Reuters Ipsos poll from June. 58% of Trump supporters had an unfavorable view of Muslims. 52% opposed rights for LGBT Americans. 50% of Trump backers saw blacks as violent and criminals. 40% said blacks were lazy and rude. Public policy poll in May. 65% of Trump supporters say President Obama is a secret Muslim. 59% say Obama was not born in the U.S. Pew Research Center poll this year. 69% of Trump supporters say immigrants are a burden to America. 50% say immigrants will commit serious crimes. Sound pretty damn deplorable to me.
Well, it's for me, it's a bad time to be a Republican. Because, look, first of all, for him to come out and to say that she's running a hate-filled campaign, it goes back to this whole notion of pot meet kettle. Because he, from the very beginning, started this whole kind of hate campaign. And so for him to say, and she's therefore disqualified from running from, come on, man, you know, move away from that.
Cleo?
Can I just shake my head? Is that enough of a commentary?
Okay, all right, Lauren.
The whole thing is ridiculous, obviously. I mean, we watched at Trump rallies, black people get pushed out of the rally by white supremacists.
Push, hit, punched.
People get punched in the face in North Carolina. We have a candidate that didn't want to acknowledge who David Duke was, and then we found a reel of him talking about David Duke. So
yeah, but even yesterday,
Donald Trump wants to play this game of acting like his, and then he hires Steve Bannon. You know, I mean, this idea that somehow it's irrelevant, all of these things, and that they don't mean anything.
But even yesterday, his VP candidate, Governor Mike Pence of Indiana, would not even call David Duke deplorable.
I can remember the first real stop that Trump made was in Alabama, and I remember the reporters at the Post trying to sort of leave out of the story the fact that they'd heard the N-word and some of the racism at that rally, and that was, you know, that was almost a year ago. And it's sort of like, this is what this campaign has been, and that's what his supporters have been from the very beginning. Now, whether or not Hillary Clinton should have articulated that is another story, because I think a surrogate would have been better off saying that.
But Cleo, here's the problem. All these media pundits out here, oh my goodness, Hillary Clinton should apologize. No, call it like it is. And it's like, and they are unwilling to say bigots. Racism. They are, and I'm first of all, and very few of them look like us. But the reality is, I mean, I remember to your point about the rallies, they even would cloak it in terms of, well, they're unsettled about their changing racial dynamics of America.
Right. Well,
and this is on NBC, ABC, CBS, CNN.
White reporters have always had a problem in our history with really calling out racism. It's very touchy.
They're unsettled by the racing change.
It's difficult to call a kettle white.
I think it's
the pot calling the kettle white.
We saw during the Civil Rights Movement the same type of reporting.
Chris,
you know.
Yeah, I mean, look, at the end of the day, when we talk about Trump, there are a number of things relative to this deplorables. First of all, his behavior throughout this entire election has been deplorable. So that's number one. Number two.
So he's deplorable in chief.
That's right. Yeah. That's exactly what it is. Number two, I think she's right when she says, I was wrong for saying half, because I think it's probably more than half.
Right. She's factually correct. It's about 65%.
Yeah. So I think you have,
including the press, who don't, like you said, who won't address issues, who won't unpack these issues, who won't call a man a bigot, who won't call him a racist, who won't call him a militant, a white militant.
The press. So I
first of all, the press has created alt-right.
Right.
No,
that's right.
It's white supremacists.
Yeah.
It's white nationalists. Call it what it is. Stop coming up with a new name. Oh, it's the alt-right.
Yeah.
No, it's white supremacists. And they can't wait for him to win. Yeah. I mean, they are. And your point, Steve Bannon ran Breitbart. Stafford said that man ran meetings like a white supremacist. Yo, that's what you got here. So
how long have I been saying that similar sentiment on this show?
The David
Duke
that's
what they call you, super black.
Alone, the fact that he won't even come out and denounce David Duke is huge.
Precisely.
So
well, bottom line is, y'all, deplorables are running for president. Accept that as a reality. All right.
Deplorables are in the media, running the media, and not being real about racism in the world.
Well, that's true, but we real.
Kickstart your day at 7 and get the news you need from the perspective you want. NewsOne Now with Roland Martin, every weekday morning at 7 on TV1.